What's up, guys? Welcome back. If you are coming back, and if it's your first time, oh my God, it is so nice to have you. This is Dr. Trevor. What's up? Um, we have Dr. Ken back for this one. Uh, Very funny one. Good to have him back. We talk about New York versus Paris, because he's on a vacation in France. We talk about idolizing people. We talk about Elon Musk showing his pee on a plane, and we discuss an incurable genetic condition that this guy has, and he decided to donate sperm to like over 30 lesbian couples for them to have children with it. So that's super cool. And that's what we got for you today. Hope you enjoy it. Take care. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the week or the weekend, and enjoy the pod.
Okay, the geniuses will see us now.
I'm a pro.
He's very unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
These are our newly arrived surgeons, Doctors Trowbridge and Greenbaum.
Doctor?
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 We're not doctors.
Are you sure they can handle this?
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
You'll forgive us if we're not instilled with confidence.
Potentially unprofessional pieces of content.
Yeah. All right, take number 3, because goddamn Riverside FM fucking sucks, and spent a bunch of money on it. But we're just gonna go back to Zoom with this low quality shit, and let's do this. Welcome to Unprofessional. My name is Dr. Trevor. I'm a fucking asshole. This is Dr. Ken. He's even worse. And yeah, but he actually, for the first time in his life, did something good. He went to France, and he treated a bunch of poor, sick children out of the goodness of his heart. Thank God for him. And tell us about that, Dr. Ken. Why did you do this selfless act? Tell us why you did this selfless act for these needing children in such a messed up world, when it seems like the little things or even the big things that we do mean nothing in the grand scheme. Tell us about that.
That was such a big prelude. Oh my God. But yeah, bro, you remember we were talking about Ukraine and how much fucked up stuff is going on there.
Yeah.
And we were like, would you go? And you said you would, but your mom would kill you, and vice versa, same for me. And I was like, I know I have to do something. Something needs to be done about these poor, sick children. So I went as part of a Christian mission, and we went to the poorest parts of France, working with a lot of refugees, a lot of Muslim refugees, honestly. And they're following the wrong religion. That's why they're poor. Why are all the Muslim countries poor? And it's because they follow the wrong religion. And so I went there, I tried to convert them. They were hesitant at first, but I was like, if you convert, I'll cure your kids. We'll give you money. We'll give you food. And a lot of them, once you put that food in front of them, they're ready to convert, bro. That's all they need.
Oh, damn. My God.
They're ready to convert. So luckily, my pastor is very happy with me. I got promoted into a priest. Because I managed to convert so many people. And they were like, we've never seen numbers
before you
like
keep
this.
going, this went from like kind of an amazing tale of selflessness to, it feels like you're doing things for like reaching for power and in a religious context, and yet no, it's not the case.
I don't know if this ever came up in the past 4 years, but I've actually been doing online divinity school while I've been in med school. And the final project is convert as many people as we can, and so that's what I did. Now I can finally graduate.
And you're doing pretty good with that, it sounds like. And you're using food to lure vulnerable children to
the thing is, you don't really need food, but you just need to find the most vulnerable people, and they're the most likely to convert.
Oh man, I don't really like this story anymore.
Their faith is strong, but you just have to show them the right faith, and it'll work well in your favor. Now, man, it was great. France was like a much needed vacation. I was exhausted from like all the apartment searches and just trying to get my visa stuff in order. So flew down for 10 days, or I guess flew across, because I'm too north, most places I'm going south. And spent a few days in Paris. Man, the thing I love about Paris was that it didn't have a lot of the same problems that like New York has. So like Manhattan, I think, has like similar amount of population, like 2 million people or something. Paris
I
also
feel
has
like
like
Paris is more spread out though. It's not like as
yeah,
dense.
yeah. It doesn't have as many skyscrapers. And actually, the tallest building in France is like the Eiffel Tower, or
Oh yeah,
in
they limit
Paris.
it, don't they? They limit how high shit can go.
I didn't look it up.
I'm pretty
But
sure they
it's
do. I
just,
think it's like 4 levels or something. It's like max.
oh really?
Mhm.
Oh okay. I guess you know more than I do.
Yeah, I do.
So about everything in general. uh yeah, it was great. Like there, it's more spread out because obviously you don't have like all those high rises. I think that like it might actually be four stories now. You're telling me, because I didn't see too many high buildings.
Mhm.
But you know, it's 2 million people, same as Manhattan, but like it didn't have a lot of the same problems. Like there was no litter on the ground, even being like a big
Yeah,
tourist
probably
city.
like 10 million less rats, which is too bad.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no litter, a lot of green spaces, which I wasn't expecting. Like even in the main city, we got around on scooters. You can rent these like little electric scooters, and they're pretty fast. They go like 20 miles an hour, no, 20 kilometers an hour. And super easy, super cheap to get around. The trains were so good compared to New York. Like
Really?
were
Why?
they were never late. They were always early or on time.
Mm,
And so it was, and the ride was like fast and smooth. So I was going somewhere like, you know, out of town. It was taking an hour by car, and it took 45 minutes by train. And it was just like a straight road. It wasn't even like there was traffic or anything. So trains were really clutch, and a lot nicer too. Like they were double decker. The seats were nice. People were super friendly, even though like in New York, no one talks to you. And New York has a lot of homeless, right? And France, I didn't see more than probably 10 homeless people in my entire like 3 days there.
I don't know. Is it
And
the thing about homeless people though? It makes me think like they're probably driving them out of Paris then, right? Otherwise, why wouldn't they be there?
so let me tell you, actually, in my entire time in France, I only saw the homeless people in one city, which is Marseille at the very end. And even then, there was like less than I would see in Manhattan or Brooklyn or anything.
Interesting.
And they have a lot of refugees too. So people were like wearing shirts that said like "I'm a refugee," but they were just working.
Really?
You know,
They wear
yeah.
shirts?
Well, some of them did.
What?
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a movement or
I'm
something.
a political refugee from Venezuela. How are you today? That's his whole shirt.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think I don't know. I think it's just like raise awareness or something. But I saw like 3 people wearing them, and so I'm assuming like a lot of people are refugees there. But yeah, like they were just integrated in society. You know, I didn't see a lot of like social issues. I'm sure there are, but it was just such a contrast to see like how the richest country in the world, and like, you know, the icon New York City had so many more problems than like Paris, France, which is
Well,
like,
if you fucking love Paris so much, why don't you marry it, dude?
bro, I
Jesus
probably
Christ.
should. Honestly, I gotta put a
God.
ring on it. I'll move there. But I saw a lot of great things there. And then I went to like some of the towns in the Alps. There's a town called Annecy, so gorgeous, man. There's a big lake, biked around it. It was like 40K. Rented a boat, took it on the lake, went swimming. I don't think I sent you the pics, but you're not on Instagram either, so you got to get on it, man.
Why?
And
Can you convince me why?
because then you miss out, you know. You miss out
Am
on
I
all
though?
these pics.
Okay, what am I missing
Yeah.
out on? I honestly want you to try to convince me a little if you think it's better.
The next
have it or
day,
not.
I did an experience that I'd never done before.
What? You had sex?
Paragliding. pop my paragliding cherry. So
Damn,
kind of.
Well, I've done it once, so it's not really a big deal.
You
that
have?
did it? Yeah, I
Where'd
actually
you
did.
do it?
It's pretty dope in the Alps.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How was the
It
experience
was
for you?
in Switzerland. It was fucking sweet. I was like 11, so but it was still
Oh,
dope.
okay.
I remember every moment of it because it was kind of crazy. But
remember every moment.
yeah, I do. Well, I mean, when I think back on my trip to Europe when I was like 11, I don't remember like 90% of it because I was young and just didn't give a shit. But you remember every moment of paragliding because you're
Yeah.
fucking flying. You're falling in style, as
yeah,
as Buzz
Buzz
Lightyear
Lightyear
would
would
say.
say. No,
Anyway,
Woody.
that's sick,
Woody
dude.
said it.
Yeah,
Buzz
Woody
said
said. Well, but
flying.
then Buzz Lightyear says it later, so we can fucking
Yeah.
quote either of them. Primary source was Woody. Secondary source
right,
was Buzz
just- I'm
Lightyear.
just
We
trying to
can
make it
quote the
clear.
secondary source, but both are fine. All right.
All right, I agree.
Okay.
So when we were in that, you know, first town in Nessie, we saw like paragliding everywhere. It's in like a valley, so there's mountains on all sides.
Mm.
So while we were biking around, we saw people paragliding everywhere, and I was like shitting my pants because I didn't want to go, but I didn't want like my brother and my cousin to know that.
I think you're a
So
pussy.
they're like, "Oh, we should go. Yeah, we should go paragliding tomorrow." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm down, I'm down." And I was just trying to be tough, but I was not wanting to do it. So the next day we went to the other town called Chamonix, and we went to we woke up, went to this random shop, and was like, "Hey, we want to paraglide. Do you guys have any availability?"
You didn't set up anything beforehand. You're just like, let's fucking go.
We didn't have a phone number, so we couldn't call. And you couldn't book online, so we had to just go in person.
You just go up to some random ass people on the street, like, can we go
Yeah.
paragliding? They're like, okay, will you pay us this much money?
The hotel guy like hooked us up though. He was like, "Go talk to these people, tell them I sent you, they'll hook you up." And so we went, and the lady was like, "Oh, we only have 2 pilots available today." I was like, "Fuck yes!" And I was ready to be like, "Guys, you guys go. I'll sit out. It's okay. It's whatever."
I'll bite
and
the
then-
bullet on this one. You guys can go without me, but you owe me.
Big time. My cousin was like relentless though. He's like, no, we need 3. We need 3. Like, can you get another one? So she started calling. She called like 5 people, and the more people she called, I was like, thank God. Like, it seems like everyone's unavailable. But the 5th person finally was like, yeah, I can come, but like I'll have to come half an hour later than the other guys because I'm doing a school right now, or a flight course. And she's like, okay, that's fine. So I was like, fuck. As soon as we left the shop, we were making our way to the gondola to go up to the top of the mountain. And I was like, guys, like, I have to go first because I'm not going to go otherwise.
Oh my God.
Because there was 2 that were going to fly at 12 and one going to come at 12:30. And I was like, if you leave me on the mountain at 12:30, like, I'm just going to take the gondola down. Like, I don't know if I'm going to go. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. You can go first. And they're like, why are you scared? I was like, yeah, I'm not afraid to admit. I'm
Look at
shitting my
you
pants
being
here.
vulnerable. Look at this guy.
There's no toxic masculinity here, man.
Just
I'm
a little
afraid,
poo-poo in your bum. That's all.
And when we got there, the pilots came. They're all shitting on me. My brother and my cousin, the pilots, were just making fun of me.
The pilots
like,
were
yeah,
fucking with you too.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, I've had a few people drop out of my parachute, but they survived. We were pretty low to the ground. And I was already not having a good time. But I'm not afraid of heights. So that's the thing. I don't know what I was afraid of, just like the feeling of like, being in the air. Like, looking down doesn't do anything for me. We're riding the gondola up.
I think I know why you're afraid.
Tell me.
You're a little bitch. Wonderful.
Wow.
Continue.
So I guess this so we both know why it was. When we got to the top, like, I was fine on the gondola. We were pretty fucking high up. We were like 4,000 meters or something. But like, the ground, the sea level, we were not at sea level at the town. It was like maybe a few thousand meters up as well. So when we got to the top, like, I was fine, like, looking down and everything. So I was like, it's not the height that's like fucking me. And we got to the top, and it all like hit me, it was so real. I was like yawning so much, my heart was like racing, my stomach was in my neck. And my cousin went first. He took the first guy, and he was a big guy. He's like 230 pounds or something. And so like he ran to the edge and he jumped off and he just dropped. And I was like, oh fuck. Like,
damn, that's kind of scary.
that feeling of falling, I was like, this guy had it. But my pilot told me after that, like, after he went, was that it's because he's so heavy. Dropped. He's like, don't worry, you're light, you'll be fine. I was like, all right, thank God. But it was amazing. You can stay up for like basically as long as you want, because there's thermals that you can ride up. So my cousin was riding a thermals waiting for me to take off, but like it took a little while because of the wind. It wasn't blowing that hard. And then like I strapped in with my pilot, and we were at the edge waiting for wind so that he could get the parachute up. And as I'm standing there, I was like, man, I can't do this. I was like, my stomach was in my mouth, it's just about to come out. And I was just overthinking so much. And I was like, I got to tell him, I got to get out, I can't do this. And, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Just don't think about it. When he tells you to run, just run. And 2 seconds later, he was like, all right, run. And I just ran, and man, it was amazing though. Like, the views were so good. The feeling that I thought I would hate was like so enjoyable. And then by the time I landed, I was like, I'd be down to do this again. But my cousin, my brother didn't give a fuck because my brother's gone skydiving, he's gone bungee jumping. My cousin also went bungee jumping. So it was just me that was like, this is a big experience for me, but it was nothing for them. So it was a big barrier that I overcame, and I was very happy with it.
That was fucking beautiful. So I think the
Yeah.
moral of the story there is if you're afraid of something, like agree with that and just, do something that makes you feel better instead.
Yeah. It's there was no reason in like hiding it. I know my limits, and I try to push my limits, but this is such like a big jump from what I've done before that it was hard to like overcome. But fuck it, bro. You just gotta be brave.
You're so brave,
And
dude.
I know. And then later, I went to Monaco. Is that a place you've been to
No.
before?
What is that?
So it's a different country. It's like right between Italy and France. It's tiny, but it's so beautiful. When we got there, bro, the people are so gorgeous in Monaco. I don't know what it is, but it's just all famous rich people because rents are insane. Even if you're a paramedic, you don't get paid enough to like afford the average apartment there. Studio apartments, 1 bedrooms are going for like $1 million.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, gorgeous place though. Like they had so many green areas, so many trees planted that like the streets smelled nice. Like it didn't smell like
They like
a city.
Febreze all the streets. That's crazy.
They did something. Maybe they like gassed the cities or something to make it smell good, but it was amazing.
Kill all the ugly people.
Yeah, and so many yachts, bro. Like went to the casino too. A lot of rich people there, a lot of nice cars. The most like common car that I saw that was like nice was like Ferrari, and I saw probably like 15 of them in 3 hours.
Damn.
There's so many. Saw like 3 or 4 Rolls Royces. Very rich city. And then made my way to like Nice and then Cannes, where the film festival happens.
Okay.
And so we're like we're just walking around the town. We see a TV screen and there's like an interview with a movie actress happening, and we're like, oh shit, so maybe it's like a theme of the city that like, this is where the film festival happens, so they play this all year. And then we start opening our eyes and we look around and there's security guards everywhere.
Oh shit.
The whole area is blocked off. There's black Mercedes on the street, like exclusively black Mercedes, and there's a huge crowd. And so we're like, oh, is the film festival happening right now?
That's
and
amazing.
we Googled it, and it was day 3 of the festival.
That's amazing.
And we're like, oh shit, where does it happen? And the location of the actual like festival is 2 blocks away from where we were. So we walked, and I don't know how we didn't notice, but like there's a huge red carpet, all the stars are coming. Saw George Clooney, Anne Hathaway. It was her movie premiere that day, so she was the last person to go in. Julia Roberts, Steven Spielberg, and a couple Indian actresses that I don't think you would know, but it was.
You saw Dr. Trevor.
He wasn't there. He wasn't invited.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
He wasn't an A-lister. But the weird thing was there was a few celebrities that came in like when we got to like the fan area, and the American A-listers, like the people were going crazy for them. Like I was listening to the crowd. They were speaking a lot of different languages, not English. And everyone knew these American A-listers, but when like the European like stars came, like people didn't really cheer for them. Yeah, it was weird. And it seems like, yeah, honestly, it seems like the culture in America, like the movie culture, is like spread so strongly that like that's who people know the most.
We're dope, dude.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, the American film industry is like really well known like throughout the world, I guess. But yeah, bro, that was in the south of France and so beautiful. There's like nice palm trees, the weather's perfect. That's why I have this like nice tan.
You look so
everything
good.
Yeah. Everything is like reasonably priced in the south. But yeah, it was so beautiful, dude. And then we took a train back from like the south in Marseille to Paris, and it's an 8-hour drive, or the train is 3.5 hours.
Oh wow.
So, and we're going at like 200 some kilometers an hour the entire time. Like it was super nice through the countryside. I wish we had that in like US and Canada, but all we got is Amtrak.
Amtrak, baby.
Slow as hell Amtrak, yeah.
In New York, you can just summon a bunch of rats and just ride them through the city. Actually, it's kind of sick.
Yeah, the Rat King.
Yeah,
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, isn't that where they like tangled? They get their tails tangled and they have to like fucking eat each other or something.
Is that what it is? I couldn't
think
remember
so.
what the Rat King is
It's
called.
like some
Yeah.
super fucked up thing that happens. There's
Yeah.
like so many gross ass rats all tangled together that their tails end up like getting all stuck together, and then they just maul each other to death until there's just one guy, and it's the Rat King, and then he has all these fucking mice dangling off his tail. It's so fucked up. Yeah.
I think I need to see that. There should be a video on it. I'm sure it exists.
I'm sure it exists, bro. Everything exists. It's fucking terrifying. I'd
Maybe YouTube
I'd
doesn't have
rather
it.
almost everything didn't exist. I'll take like 3 things.
Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Tell me.
What would you say your sexuality is?
Oh,
Are
we talked
you-
about this a little bit, not specifically me and Gabriel about each other, but we talked about sexuality on the last pod.
Would you say you're okay? So I think you've done some thinking about this, and you need
I've
to
done
do a lot
plenty.
of thinking to answer this question.
Okay.
Are
What
you
is my
a
sexuality?
homosexual
Okay.
or heterosexual or something else? Take your time, man. I don't want you to give the wrong answer.
I'm a heterosexual.
Oh, bro, you chose the wrong answer.
Fuck.
What's the date today?
The first.
First of what month?
Oh, is it April?
Pride month.
Oh, Pride Month. Oh yeah, I'm a
Bro.
homosexual.
You're not allowed to be a heterosexual on Pride
Oh
month.
yeah. Well, if you are, then you're gay.
You're getting converted. You got to go to conversion therapy for the month of June. It's
All
illegal
right.
to be straight in this month. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, I didn't know until right now, but thanks for enlightening me. Should I edit this out of the pod then? So we're good. I don't want to get in trouble.
You know, I thought this joke was too risque, but I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I got this this identity concealer mask, which basically doesn't do anything. If anyone knows me that's watching this,
My problem with the joke was that it wasn't very good, but I do like that you did it anyway. It's like a cool Norm Macdonald thing where you like, you give the joke even though the audience won't get it. It's pretty cool of you.
it's a segue. It's a segue into like the topic that I wanted to bring up, which
Okay.
is all these companies that like, show their pride for Pride Month. Like Mercedes will switch its like Twitter picture to having the pride flag on it.
Yeah.
All these companies like we respect and we appreciate, Pride Month or whatever the hell. And then you go and see their like Saudi Arabian counterparts, and
they keep it
no
real.
mention.
They keep it real. They're like, fuck the gays. You know what? I like the Saudis better now. Yeah, I'm down.
It's funny because they show this, they just want to fit in, they just want to do whatever makes them money, and it's just so disgusting that there's this huge contrast. Like in the Middle East where they don't accept it, they do with whatever they want. But if they really were like champions of like sexuality or whatever, like gender equality, just follow it forever. Don't like pick and choose when you follow it.
I mean, I disagree. I think they follow it because the money's in it, like you said, but it just makes it more obvious that the companies don't give a fuck about you. Like this just makes it very clear that the companies do not give a shit about anybody, do not care about anything that they actually say. It's all about the profits, and it just makes it more clear. It's like, okay, if you ever needed great evidence, you have it now. So I don't know. It is what it is. Like the companies are fucked, and or they're not, or they're doing great things, but even then they're only doing it for the profit, right? So it just is what it is. They just understand that that's how the companies work, and it's all good.
Yeah, but it's gross because I don't like how they don't get called out for it. I don't.
Bro,
want
they
them
get
to
called
do
out
it.
all the time. What are you talking about?
No, if they got called out enough, they wouldn't do it.
No. Well, I think
Yeah.
if they got demonized enough for it, then they would. But they get called out constantly. I mean, you go on Twitter, it's you
But
can't.
Twitter is like, what percent of the population sees Twitter?
I guess, yeah, not a ton.
Like who goes and sees? Plus, like you have to be a member of Twitter. You have to go on it regularly.
Okay, then
and
what
you
do
have to
people
be,
go
like-
on regular? Like, how do we get the biggest portion of the population? Then it's not newspapers anymore, is it? And even if
It's
it is,
gotta be like
I bet
Fox
it's called out
News
there
or
on
something,
sometimes.
bro. It's gotta
Okay,
be Fox
well,
News.
you're only gonna see one specific agenda on Fox News, so
I know.
I bet on
but
CNN they call that shit out sometimes. Or yeah,
I don't think they do.
you don't. Oh, okay.
No, because then the thing is they lose
Yeah, that's true. They're
advertisers.
pretty like company driven or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but like
yeah.
Twitter, like you and me, like we don't give a shit if like Mercedes, we call them out. They're not going to sponsor us anyway. So.
Yeah, but if they do, we won't say shit about gay stuff.
Mercedes,
we'll say whatever
please.
they want about gay people. I'm down.
I'll talk about all the good you do if you give me a car.
Yeah.
I need one for New York. Well, actually,
I'll talk about two guys fucking each other the whole podcast. If you give me that money.
That was the last podcast. I mean, I'm kind of sad that I wasn't here for such an amazing topic like sexuality for the
Oh,
last
dude, we
one.
talked about it for like 3 seconds. We talked about what pansexual means. We got confused and then we switched topics. Like it was not that big.
That's 2 seconds of more material than I have to contribute.
Okay.
So I'm glad that I wasn't the one talking about it.
And I don't know if you knew this, but it has nothing to do with fucking pans at all.
Oh no. Okay, then I'm lost, bro. I don't know anything about it.
I figured.
I know less than I thought I did.
I figured.
Only for gay people.
Yeah, they test you at the door. You have to prove it. So
you have to get hard looking at gay porn and.
Oh, I was gonna go a step further. Like you need direct evidence.
But does it count if you get hard to lesbian porn, or does it have to be like?
This is the dumbest podcast
dudes?
of all time.
Asking the real questions. Yeah.
And okay, I have an article. This shit's fucked up.
Okay.
Speaking of fucked up shit, a man with an incurable genetic condition who advertised his sperm to lesbians on social media has been banned from contacting some of the children he fathered as a result.
What? Why would he? What?
There's a
does
lot
it say
going
what
on
condition
here.
he has?
Yeah, he had Fragile X syndrome.
Why the fuck is he trying to give his genes away?
It's fucked up. I don't know, man. What?
He's probably like, I'm not gonna have kids otherwise, so I might as well just like.
Because here's the thing, dude. You have to go through a lot of like red tape and shit, and like get like do all these documents to be able to like do this kind of a thing. And even then he didn't do it through like the main legal method or whatever, like which is donating to a sperm bank, because they're like, yo, you have Fragile X, we're not going to take your stuff. And then he did it through a Facebook lesbian forum, and he still presented the documentation, and it said Fragile X on there, but it was like, on page 12.
Who knows what that is?
Yeah, it's like deep on page 12. The ones that actually read it were like, oh, I don't even know what that fucking means. It's like more just bullshit. And then most of them didn't, of course. No one goes to page 12. So yeah,
if you're
super
looking
fucked
for
up.
sperm on Facebook, like you're not gonna.
Also, yeah, I mean, there's an argument that hey, let's but they were desperate. Like they obviously these women wouldn't have done it if they weren't desperate for.
Just find a guy at the
sperm.
club or something.
Yeah, but
man, that's too bad.
Tell the people at home what Fragile X syndrome is.
Man, I barely remember. I remember this kid. So it's a disorder. The gene on your X syndrome or X chromosome gets enlarged, and it's not fragile or anything. It's just like
they just noticed when they were doing karyotyping that it's like it was broken in like a big portion of those,
but the gene basically stopped. It's like a frataxin gene. It doesn't get transcribed, but it mostly presents in males because males only have one X. So if you have one bad copy, then you're fucked. If you're a female, you have another good copy and your second X chromosome. And what is it? You have like macroorchidism where you have like large testicles.
You have large
you
got those
ears.
big balls. You got elongated ears, an elongated chin.
Like mental retardation.
Yeah, it's a varying like mental retardation. Like this guy obviously is with it enough to be able to do all this like terrible shit, but not everyone is. So, and I'm guessing that's why this has even come up, is because some of the parents are realizing that the kid is retarded and like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we need to find whose sperm this is. That guy on Facebook.
But 37-year-old, where is it? 37-year-old James McDougall was not upfront about Fragile X syndrome and should not. And the judge put out his name, which apparently they usually don't do, but just to make it that so that like people don't go to him anymore and get his sperm.
That's the thing. Like if you like Google him now, at least you'll know that like this guy's and shit. If he tries to like sell his sperm some other way or whatever.
Yeah, he definitely would have tried to do it more after this shit, if his name wasn't put out there. I promise you.
what kind of like level do you have to be? You know, you're bringing kids into the world that they're gonna struggle with the same thing that you have, and it's probably gonna be worse because it gets worse through every
He's
generation.
obviously got some fucked up shit going on.
Yeah.
And then he tried to meet up with the children that were fathered. You know, it's like, what are you doing? And like apparently they have like and he would meet with some of them, and they would have bruises after and shit. Like this is just the whole thing's fucked up.
He would beat him up.
Yeah, I guess. And then so now there's like, yeah, all that going on too. But crazy.
So weird.
It says this meeting will end in 10 minutes. Upgrade now to remove the. Why is that happening?
There might be limits on how long you can use Zoom.
But that was never the case before.
I think it's after an update.
Oh shit. That's fucked up, dude.
Let me see how long it's been. It's been 30 minutes.
That's so dumb. Well,
Yeah.
I guess it'll be a short pod.
Whatever.
Anyway, yeah, I thought that was fucked up, and at least they got
It is
big
fucked up.
balls. I don't know.
They can't use them though.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you hear about the sexual assault with Elon Musk?
No.
You
What
haven't
do you
heard
do?
about that?
No, what do you do?
Apparently he was on like a private flight. I'm assuming he never flies like public anymore. He only flies private. But one of his flight attendants, he like showed his dick to.
No.
And and she's like, "Where is it?" And so he killed her. No, I'm just kidding. He had to pay a settlement, or so she just took him to court, and he had to pay the settlement of like $250,000. And the news came out. So
Damn, I hope
You know-
Elon shows me his dick.
there was yeah, dude, easy way to pay off your dad's. Hey,
Fuck, let's go.
I'll finally have enough to buy a house. So it was actually weird. There was a weird timeline where the reporter told him that they're coming out with this article, and does he have a comment? He tweeted that the attacks against the media are going to increase in the coming days because he like decided to support Republicans or some shit.
Mhm.
And basically like what's the word for it, like saying that like, oh, if anything comes against me, it's fake. And so this article comes out the next day. He's like refuting it. He's like, this is not the whole story, blah blah blah. And the Elon fanboys are going crazy. Like my brother's a huge Elon fanboy. He like came to me like a few weeks ago and started arguing, and he's like, do you love Elon or not? And I was like, no, I don't love Elon.
What the fuck? Do you love him or not? Is he your savior? Yo, but I
He's like-
actually have a question.
Yeah.
So just being devil's advocate and not knowing anything about the situation, like he probably likely did it, right? But what if he didn't?
But then why would he pay $250,000?
Because that happens all the time. People, like famous people or like whatever athletes and shit, they get under accusations all the time, and they settle because it's like, or I can go through this lengthy ass court process that I have to come to all the time, do all this preparation, all this shit, when I could just throw money at it and have it go away.
All right. Well, here's the thing. There's two things. You're setting a precedent that if anyone wants to come do that to you, they can do it. They can take advantage of you.
But that's how the American system works. That's just everyone does that.
But you don't hear about that stuff with like Jeff Bezos or like Bill Gates or a lot of other people. Mark Cuban, like they're all like,
yeah, but
billionaires
then
too, you
for
don't
as
hear
many
about
of the
that.
people you're naming, there's fucking 8 times that amount who have that shit.
Probably, but like then the other thing is the settlement amount is huge. Why would he pay $250? That's like an insane amount for him doing nothing.
I don't know about
Like, I'm
how
sure-
much money and shit.
I'm sure there was other people on the flight too. Like it wasn't just the two of them, and like there's other people that knew. I'm sure there's no way to like know for sure, but bro, like
So
this guy-
obviously something happened, but like it may have been super minor or it could have been something major, but either way it was settled, and we don't know, I think, all the details. I'm not
no,
sure, but
we don't.
yeah.
We don't know. But here's my interpretation. You have a billionaire, like richest or second richest, I don't know, it changes all the time, person in the world. He already gets away with so much shit. He doesn't fucking follow laws. When California shut down their state, he had people go to work. Like he doesn't give a fuck. He'll do whatever he wants. And you're saying this person, he just went through a divorce too. Has like 7 kids from like, a bunch of different moms. Like you don't think that he would, be so emboldened by everything he's done so far. People love him. There's so many supporters of him, and you'd think he wouldn't just go and do whatever the fuck he wants.
What's your point? That
Like,
it makes it more likely that something bad happened.
I think with his amount of power, I think he thinks he can do whatever he wants, and I think it's more likely that he did it than not.
Sure, but I just don't think that matters, because it's like it should all come before
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
court
matter.
of
But I'm
law.
just
Like,
saying.
I don't know. I just
I'm saying. No, I'm saying it doesn't matter. But I'm saying,
Okay.
like, if you had to make a judgment on whether he did it or not, that's
oh
what I'm
yeah,
looking at.
I'd say it makes it more
and I
likely for sure. 100%.
I'm like, to me, I think it's like pretty likely. I would say more, maybe like 75%.
The dude probably whipped his dick out in front of a
Yeah,
flight
100%.
attendant. I just, I don't know. I think the flight attendant's gonna be okay, and not that it's not okay. I mean, or not that it is okay to do that. It's just like,
never
look,
not okay.
Here's the thing. I don't think any of it really matters. Elon Musk did a retarded thing, and I'm sure he's full of himself and everything, and he whipped his dick out in front of a flight attendant, and that's not okay. But everyone got what they wanted. The flight attendant got a bunch of fucking money. She doesn't care. Like, and Elon Musk got rid of the situation somewhat. His reputation sullied slightly, but the people who love him are going to continue to love him. The people who don't are going to continue not to. And then me and you are sitting here discussing it, and we just don't really give a fuck either way. So it's like, none of it matters. None of that matters. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
Like, it's just his reputation got hit a little, and some chick got a bunch of money. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't fucking
But what
matter.
I wanted to mention was like Elon fanboys.
Yeah.
So my brother's a huge Elon fanboy. When he heard about this news, this is like right when we got to France.
Mhm.
So my cousin and I don't really give a fuck about Elon. We're like, we like what he's doing. We don't really like him himself.
Sure.
He used to be good, but he's kind of fucked now. When my brother heard the news, we were discussing it. He's like, it can't be true.
I don't believe it. It can't be true.
His first instinct is like, we have to figure out how this is false. And we were discussing, where it's like, then why did he pay, the girl $250? He's like, I don't know, but I don't think that he did anything wrong. I was like, what would it take to like, change your opinion on Elon? And he's like, nothing's gonna change. He's like, when the Cybertruck comes out, which is like the new car he's making or some shit,
then he can't do no wrong.
And it isn't good, then I'll stop liking Elon. I'm like, why do you like the guy so? What is it? And then I think the conversation with like, what is he doing for you? You're giving him your money, you're buying his merchandise, you're giving him your support, you're defending him for free. You're doing a better job than his lawyers are, because they're at least getting paid for it. You're doing all this defending for nothing in return. And it's just didn't connect with him, how he's like, it's such a one-sided relationship. You're idolizing this guy who doesn't give a fuck. He would probably shoot him in the middle of the street and he wouldn't care. Like, it's so one way. It's so weird, these fanboys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just a weird situation. The idolizing, I mean, we do it too, right? But I think if you got to like limit yourself to like, look, what this person puts like their pants on just like everyone else, like the right opportunities met the right things. They're very smart, this and that. But I don't know if defending somebody to the death is the move. How about just like fix your own life and shit? I don't know.
Yeah. How about not giving a fuck?
Yeah.
what someone else is doing.
Yeah. Be like us. Don't give a shit about anything. All the bad things happening in the world, all the good things, just don't give a shit about any of it.
Is there anyone you idolize?
There's like people that I respect deeply, but I think idolize is I don't idolize anybody.
Donald Trump, do you respect deeply anyone?
Okay,
else?
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I respect deeply, a bunch of people, and we have a minute 20 seconds, so I'll quickly do this.
Yeah.
But I don't know off the top of my head.
It's hard to say. I feel like
it's hard off the top of your head.
If you're having trouble thinking about it, then like I don't think there's a lot of people that like you would defend to that level.
No, there's no way. Yeah. I don't give a shit about anybody.
Besides like my dad, I don't even know if I would do it to my dad, like, but to that level.
I would defend you if somebody was like, I think he's not a good person. I'd be like, well, is he? Yeah, he's like, kind of, sometimes he's cool though.
Besides my friends, but even then, like, I don't think I would defend them to that level where like they can do no wrong. If there was like, Trevor has like allegations against homosexuals. So I was like, you know what? He's a good guy, but it's not out of the question.
You fucking piece of shit.
He kind of like, takes things too far a few times. But...
You fucking asshole. God
right,
damn.
we have like 10 seconds.
Yeah, we have like
left,
10 seconds. So hit us up at thatisunprofessional@gmail.com. Thatisunprofessional@gmail.com if you got any topics or anything you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it and shit.
Yeah.
Anything else, dude?
Thanks for listening. Signing off, Dr. Ken.